Have you ever been camping, stuck in the woods, in the dark, cold, and wet, with no fire but a ton of wood that you could use? I've been camping for many years now and camp about 8 to 10 times every year. I've had to start fires on many different occasions between negative temperatures and snow and pouring rain outside. Today I'm going to show you how to use different types of woods, different ways to build fires, and the best way to ignite your fire. First, I'm going to show you the different types of woods there are. Starting off with tinder. Tinder is super small stuff, typically smaller than the width of your finger, and doesn't burn for very long. It typically burns for about 10 to 15 seconds, and is just used to start your fire. You cannot continuously burn a fire with this because of how little they last. Next is kindling. Kindling is about as thick as your thumb, not much bigger, and is simply a bit longer, off of branches. It might have a couple pine needles on it that can be used as tinder as well to start your fire. These last for about a minute or two and are used to build up the base of your fire, but it still isn't very reasonable to burn your fire off kindling. Next is fuel. Fuel is the big stuff, like logs. The logs can burn for many hours, but you can't just ignite them whenever. It takes a long time to be able to start burning your log, especially if it's wet. And that's why you have to use the other sizes of wood to build up to your log and your fuel to start burning. Now that I've shown you the different types of woods, I'm going to show you how to incorporate them into different structures to help start your fire quicker. Starting off with a teepee, a teepee consists of one strong log or stick, either fuel or kindling, in the center. Then you want to wrap a bunch of kindling around it to form a teepee-like structure. If you put tinder at the bottom, light that, and then continuously add kindling to it, it will burn up the center shaft and reach your outside logs, which will then burn, collapse, and let you build around the rest of the ash and burnt logs to help create an even larger fire. Next is a lean-to. A lean-to has one big strong log to either side of it with kindling layered down on top of it to form a lean-to shape. Then when you put tinder on the inside underneath of the kindling, you get it where it will burn up the kindling, cool that or dry off your log and let that burn, and then it will give you a new space right next to it. So put another log and let them pass back, burning each other, and create a continuous fire. Lastly, the most commonly used one is a log cabin. Log cabins start with 2 logs on either side for the base, and then on the other side, perpendicular, you go up a layer, put 2 more sticks or logs, then back to parallel, then back to perpendicular. This allows you to create a log cabin structure like they did back in the 1600s, and it will burn up and around and through the center. It allows you to protect your fire from wind or rain and lets you use that then to put new wood in the middle and let the outside burn it from the inside. Now that I've shown you the different types of ways to build your fire, I'm going to show you the best way to ignite it. First, you want to start with about 1 to 2 handfuls of tinder. Because the tinder is the fastest burning, you need the most of it, but it doesn't do as much as the other 2 would. Starting with tinder, you want to ignite it with either flint and steel, a match, or a lighter, and use those to start burning down. As you start to burn the tinder, you need to make sure you have about 30 seconds to a minute of tinder built up ready to burn before you start adding kindling. Then, once you have the kindling, you need to let it ignite it, continue to add tinder until your kindling will last for about a minute or 2. Then you can add the log. And then you have to start adding tinder and kindling more and more until you finally catch your log. You can add then another log to the side of it or above it and let that catch too. But you can't stop adding the tinder and kindling until you have a strong base of that log, or else it will die out. You also can't put too much on at a time. If you take a handful of tinder and then try to throw a bunch of leaves on it, even though leaves burn really quickly, they'll actually suffocate the fire because there won't be enough oxygen to let the fire burn up the leaves. Now that I've shown you a couple ways to use different types of wood, build your fires, and ignite fires, you should go and try build a fire yourself. Make sure to always have some dry wood on hand, be it tinder, kindling, or fuel, to make sure you don't get caught up in a storm that could ruin your fire.